All right, everyone. Welcome to The Real Deal Fishing. This is CJ. That's my buddy Jake, who's been in some videos. We were just sitting and talking about what is considered a trophy fish. So I know that's going to be contingent upon your location, your region, whatever you want to call it. Probably the best indicator of that, I'm going to say, is your state, because that's where the record holders are usually at. So in Indiana, the state record is 14 pounds, 12 ounces, and it was caught in 1991. So our argument would be that in Indiana, roughly, what would you guys say, 7-pound fish?
7.5 pounder.
Is going to be considered a trophy. Now that's going to be different in places like if you go up to, let's see, California, its record is 21 pounds, 12 ounces. So a 7-pound fish there is not going to be nearly as much of a trophy as it is in Indiana. There's other places too, like Texas. Heck, you could go to Arkansas and the record's 16.5. But I'm just trying to get a roundabout method of saying what is a trophy fish for my area, my region, my state. And I think a solid baseline to go off of is probably somewhere around 50% of whatever the state record is. So in Indiana, with a 14.75 pound record fish, if you take 50% of that, you get 7.37 pounds. So that's roughly what we were saying, 7.5 pounds. And we think that that's a good baseline anywhere you go, especially for largemouth. So if you go to California, like we were talking about, and it's 21 pounds, you would just take half of that, so that's what, 10.5 pound? So if you get a 10.5 pound fish, that's a pretty good fish in California. And it's obviously it's going to be different based upon the region, because there's some regions they pull over 10-pound bass out regularly. But for the most part, I think our argument would be he's blowing up. But I think the argument would be that 50% of your state record would be fairly large bass and should be a trophy. Just to show you kind of our personal bests, Jake, show your fish up there. That's Jake's personal best, and that's about 6 pounds, 14 ounces or so, or about a 7-pound fish. So he caught that, was it 2 years ago? And it was on a jerkbait over at some of the pits that we fish at. And so that's a pretty good sized fish for Indiana. Like, I think that's a fairly surmountable fish. And then in 2017, I caught this bad boy. And this is 7 pounds, 14 ounces or so. My scale was a little bit, batteries were a little low, but this is my personal best so far. So dang near an 8-pounder, and I think for Indiana, this is definitely a big fish. It's about 23.5 inches long. I didn't measure the girth, but you can see it's a pretty fat fish. So those two there are some pretty good fish. And then CJ, you saying your personal best was what?
This is a personal best.
Oh. Well, fish.
Oh, 7 pounds. A little over 7 pounds.
Would you say 7.4?
7.4.
And he caught that at Shack Mac State Park when he was younger. So
I caught about 8.
that's pretty large fish for Indiana. We think around that range is more than likely a good size for a trophy fish. But just for those trophies that you're talking about putting on the wall or doing something like that, I think somewhere about 50% of your record is going to be arguably the best. But I'm going to ask you guys, what do you think is a trophy fish for your area? So if you would, comment and tell us what you think below. Thanks, and have a good one.